Welcome back to Wind Down Wednesday with your girl Soulz Journey. I am here with my girl Rue Clark. Hey, Rue.
Hey, Soulz Journey. How's it going today?
It's going well. It's a beautiful day, and we are here. We are blessed. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I feel amazing.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you. Listen, thank you so much for coming and to grace us with your presence. And we're just going to jump into your business just a little bit, baby.
Just a tad. Just a tad.
Just a tad bit. So, Rue, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I call myself the quintessential Northern Southern girl. I was born in Buffalo, New York. I was reared in Buffalo, New York, but I really grew into a woman in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm a Northern Southern girl. And I like to say I got my hustle from New York and my grace from the South.
Oh my gosh, I could totally relate to that. I love that. That is amazing. And so what is it that you do there in Atlanta?
Oh my God, I wear so many different hats. But essentially, I have a company called Rue La La Day Tours and Excursions. I am a sightseeing tour guide company. And so what started off as a hobby, being an international travel concierge, initially turned into a business full-time here in the city of Atlanta and surrounding areas. And so that's if I can call it 9 to 5, that would be it. Entrepreneurs don't have a 9 to 5 though.
No, they don't.
Along with Rue La La Day Tours and Excursions, I also produce shows in the city like Set Trippin', which is a monthly independent artist showcase.
Wow.
I also produce events for certain people. This is not something that I advertise publicly. It's definitely word of mouth. So I've done openings for businesses where I produce their opening events. I've done celebrations for businesses. I've done campaign launches for people. So, based on the referral and if somebody calls me and the budget is right, I can definitely work to produce an amazing event. So yes, that would be me, a little bit of me. There's a whole lot more of me.
Yes.
I don't even think we have enough time.
That is awesome. So what created this serial entrepreneur?
Listen, I grew up seeing serial entrepreneurs and didn't know that's what it was. I didn't know about multiple streams of income. I just saw it. So when I look at the family that I was raised with in Buffalo, it's my mother's side of the family. And my mom worked at Buffalo General for a little over 50 years, but she was also a salon owner and hairstylist.
What?
She was, yes. You wouldn't know about that. That was way back when, but she maintained her license until she couldn't anymore,
Wow.
And she was into real estate too. And then I had uncles and aunts that had 9 to 5 jobs, but were also doing other things. So I just, to me, that was the norm.
Yes.
And so I always felt that whatever I wanted to do and still do, as long as I'm capable, do it. If it's something that I love, do it. There's no boundaries.
Yes.
There are no boundaries. Yeah, there are people that will ask, say, what are you doing now? And I'm like, whatever I want to.
I love that. I get that a lot too. And it's also like if the Most High drops it in your spirit, it has to come out in some type of way, in some type of form. So why not try to go for it? Why not go for it instead of, standing in fear or being paralyzed, So
Yeah, because if it's given for you to do and you don't do it, it's still going to get done. It may not be at your hands. You'll sit there on the sidelines and watch someone else do it, watch it manifest in someone else's life. But as long as I'm able to, if God gives me the vision, he absolutely is going to give me the provision and the wherewithal to see it through to the end. So why not?
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And so Set Trippin', what is the lowest budget? Listen, so what if I wanted to have this party and my baby graduated and all I got is $500? Can you do something with $500?
So Set Trippin' is the indie artist showcase.
Oh, okay. So I got the wrong thing.
So Set Trippin' started as a backyard cooler party back in 2018.
Nice.
I love music. I've always been, my family was a musical family. Mm-hmm. My mom was actually, if I can get this right, she performed on radio stations with gospel radio stations when she was a child. My grandmother would take her to conferences and stuff. She was a great singer. So music has always been a part of my background.
Yes.
I've always sang. I've always appreciated good music.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in my life, instead of having the microphone in my hand, I wanted to put it in someone else's hands. And I want to be the person that produced the events that allow artists to showcase their talent. And so I started Set Tripping in 2018. Okay. Invited friends to come over, bring their lawn chair, and bring their cooler.
Nice.
And having a good sound system set up in a band and artists perform in my backyard. And I did that until, of course, the pandemic shut down. There was no Set Tripping in that time. And then after it opened, I think I might have done one or two others. And then this year, instead of waiting till the summertime, I was itching for some good music, some original music, because these are artists that are performing originals, no covers. And I said, I'm going to start earlier in the year, and I had a location down in the Kirkwood area that was perfect for what I wanted at the time. And so in January of this year, I did just the Set Tripping, which would have ordinarily started around now. And so we've done once a month. The last Tuesday of each month.
Nice.
And so it's been phenomenal shows. I am so blessed to be around so many creative people that have amazing talent.
Oh my gosh. So you also, so people of all genres, you do poets and all of that as well?
We're Set Tripping, it's music.
Just music. Just straight music.
Now, there are some people, there's rap, there's R&B, there's neo soul. Like whomever says, like, what has been happening lately is that I've had people that I know, or people I'm like, oh, I want to do your next Set Tripping, which is great. I don't have to go out looking for people. But if you know of a great artist that wants the opportunity to showcase in front of a live audience, I say it's the set before your set. So Set Tripping, basically, you know that you want to perform live. You are an artist and you want to get out there, but you don't know how you'll be received by a live audience. Then you want to come Set Tripping.
Nice.
We put the audience in the stage and just do your set. This is where you can critique yourself and grow.
Nice. I love that. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I didn't even know that. So listen, I'm learning a lot of new things about you. So we're going to tell the audience, we have not met personally. Today was our first meeting. So I'm getting the new, fresh information that you guys are getting. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to learn each other right now. Okay. So that's amazing. So that's the Set Tripping. So what about the creative
the events?
Yes, the events. Tell me about that.
So the event is a portion of Rue La La.
Rue La La. Okay.
So I put it under the same umbrella.
Got you.
Now you asked me about budget.
Yes, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, so no, that wouldn't be me.
Okay. She said, I ain't doing no 500 now. I'm not doing 500.
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I am not that versed in every aspect of event planning, but I know how to put together a good team.
Nice.
And so if I have a concept for an event and I have a design idea, there's a designer I can go to and tell her, this is exactly what I want it to look like. Can we make it happen? There's catering, there's music, which means there's sound. There's $500.
That's not it.
This would not be Rue La La.
Okay.
I can put you in touch with someone that might be able to help you.
So that's good. That's good. We have the connects. We know how to network and bring it all together. So that is amazing. Serial entrepreneur, baby. Serial entrepreneur. Now tell me how you got into singing, because you're also a singer. So tell me how you got into that.
I mean, I always sang. My family was a singing family growing up in church. Our like growing up in church, usually we went to smaller churches growing up where our family was the church, the choir,
Gotcha.
the everything. And
yes, baby, been there, done that.
I honestly can't tell you when I wasn't singing.
Nice.
And so, growing up in church, then in school, I went to Buffalo Academy for Visual and Performing Arts, where I majored in music, vocal music. It was just always a part of my life. And so I don't, it's like my release is music. I center myself through music.
Yes.
So if it's me singing to myself or going to sit in the audience to listen to someone else sing, that's that. But when I started recording back in the 90s in Buffalo, I had done some stuff with some city producers, did some tracks, and around the way, Ike Nice, Sam, quite a few other people. And then I met this guy who was putting together a band to go overseas to Japan. And so as we were practicing for that, it's so funny the connections that you make that lead you in other directions. So I thought I was getting ready to go to Japan. That's when I got my first passport. And a lot of the conversation that was being had and just the feel of the people that were involved didn't quite sit right with me.
Okay.
And so I broke away from that. And one of the musicians in that band actually introduced me to a gentleman that was starting a record label in Buffalo. And that recorded my first album under an indie label there in Buffalo, and then did other things along the way. But that was my first professional foray into the world of music.
Wow, that's dope. I love that for you, Ru. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Did not know I was getting a singer on the show today, but what? We got one, okay? Yeah, I just love your energy, your aura, your whole vibe. Okay.
Thank you.
I know the kids don't say that these days, but we gonna still say you're a vibe.
I'll never forget this guy was like, I just love your ambience. That's still ringing in my head. Like, your ambience. I'm like, your ambience? But okay. Your ambience.
We love your ambience, girl. We love your ambience.
It's like a private joke I say to people, your ambience.
That's cute. I love that one. Oh my gosh. So, and you grew up in the church. So, speaking spirituality, where do you stand right now?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am a Christian. I don't claim a denomination. I didn't know, quite honestly, I didn't know there were denominations growing up until I was in elementary school and would hear conversation of people talking about Kojic and Baptist and this. And I'm like, and they would ask me, I remember the kids asking me, well, what are you? And I'm like, Christian. But no, what are you? And I'm like, Christian. Right. What else should I be but a Christian? And then those led to, those questions from kids that I went to school with led to me asking my mom and my grandmother, well, what are we? Christian. Like, we've hopped all over. If there was belief in God, in the unadulterated word of God through the Bible, worship in the spirit and truth, like that was it for us. Gotcha. Like, I remember studying, Jehovah's Witness lady would come to the house and do Bible study for us. What I want to say is I think that my parents and my mom and my grandmother gave us the opportunity to learn about different religions or denominations of Christianity to have enough information to decide for ourselves when we got older, to have enough information to be grounded, so I am a Christian woman. I do love going to church. I am a worshiper. I have traveled a lot with one of my careers as a travel club and international travel concierge. And I would say that I am not as close-minded of a Christian that I once was.
Okay.
I don't believe in exclusivity in Christianity. I believe in it being inclusive for more than me and those like me. So
yeah, that's powerful. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
One word. Wow. Wow.
I love it.
That would be me. I'm that wow factor. I'm wow.
Wow. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that at all. That's lovely. I love that. If there is anything that you could say to encourage someone who wants to go on to the singing world, who wants to break free into the singing world, what would your encouraging words be to them?
I would say, first, if it is your desire to sing, be honest about your skill set
That's
and your gift. Okay. And if it is something that you're truly gifted in, then perfect your craft before you present your craft.
Yes, perfecting your craft. That is very important. Also being educated in it. Yeah, so that's important. Also, if you could encourage your younger self, what would be your words? What would be your words that you would tell to your younger self?
Ooh-wee. If I can talk to my younger self, I would say, find it within. You know, the song Encourage Yourself. I would say a lot of times when I was younger, I looked for validation outwardly. I was always an oddball in the family. I was always doing something different. And sometimes it would get me into trouble, the outspokenness or doing things that I shouldn't. Sometimes it would get me noticed in a good way. Sometimes it would get me noticed in a bad way. But ultimately, it was looking for validation from external sources and acceptance externally. And none of that is lasting. And so what I would tell my younger self is there's so many moments that I can look at to say, whew, they were pivotal moments in my younger years. I would say ask for what I want. Learn to open your mouth. Don't be afraid to speak. And to find it within. Because when you can give it to yourself, nobody else can take it from you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to wholeheartedly agree with that. That's amazing. That's amazing advice. Is there anything that you want to leave with your audience? Is there anything that you want them to know about Rue Clark?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I have so much left to do. And with that, I definitely want to leave a legacy for my family, not just immediate family. And so I'm always striving and working hard to accomplish certain goals that I've set in place. Learning that I have to be flexible with those goals as well. And so one of my mottos is bend so you don't break. You know, bend so you don't break.
Yes.
And because if I stay rigid, when life is lifing, it'll break me. And so I look at the trees, like the trees, the wind blows and those trees don't snap. They just bend. They bend into the breeze. Even skyscrapers are made to sway with the winds so that they can withstand the test of time. And so for me, it's just bend so you don't break. Be flexible in your understandings. Be flexible in how you approach things. There's always an alternative. And I always say I know what I know, and I'm good at what I know. But there's always somebody that knows more than me. There's always a different way to approach things that could be, that could give me greater productivity or greater understanding. Just be flexible, bend so you don't break.
Wow. That's interesting. That has been one of my hashtags for some months now.
Really?
Yes, which is so So
Life
interesting.
is life, we know, and that's what's like, life is going, like, life is never going to stop doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of all of that, you don't want to just survive. Like, not me, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to have an excellent life. I want to have an amazing life. And yes, wealth is cool. I don't think that money is the end all be all, but it definitely makes you comfortable. But for me, it's like I've always said since I was young, like, I want to die empty because I have so much in
Come
me.
on, baby.
So many things that are in my head that I want to do. Like, I'm actually working on a book that I started back in 2007 or 2008. Like, I want to be a writer. I want to be a singer. I want to be a business person. Want to be a parent. Want to be a good spouse. All of this, and I can have it all. I don't have to segment it. I made that mistake because I was told, you got to be master of one, or what's the saying? Master of all, master of none. But that's not true. That's such a falsehood that was perpetrated against it. You can master so many things. You can do so many things well. So just dying empty is it for me. Being fulfilled.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Oh, I love that. I say that a lot. And people look at me funny because I'm the same way. Like, wherever the wind blows, if I feel like I want to do this, hey, I always wanted to try it. So I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So,
and I'm telling you, the people, it's so funny because sometimes the people closest to you don't even understand who you truly are.
No.
And sometimes you have to accept that and keep it moving and not try to shout for understanding. There's not an amount of shouting in the world are going to make people see you for who you truly are if what they have in their mind is what they want you to be. And so sometimes it's walking away from people and situations and staying firm by yourself while you're working on yourself and working on your projects. But yeah, I mean, there are so many things still that are in me that are screaming to get out, or new things that are dropped in my spirit. Like, you revealed to me that you met my mom, and my mom was an amazing singer. She was funny as heck. She was a little bit messy, but she was a little bit messy. I'm being kind with a little bit, but she also liked to help people. And one of the things she would do is always like take food to people.
Yes.
And with losing her, with going into my first Mother's Day without her. And I still want to honor her because a lot of who I am, a great part of who I am, is as the results of her, the good and the bad of her. So what I reacted to being the good or bad of her, it created me and who I am. Well, good thing, my mom loved to make sure people ate. She would get groceries, go different places, and go drop off food to people. And so I was like, okay, my mom fed people. I want to feed people. And so one of the things I'll be doing this year to honor her in that way is a summer meal program for children in the city. So I wanted to be able to do it in a way that was most impactful. So I signed up with the city of Atlanta. A dear friend of mine, Ernest Hood, he allowed me to use his site. So we're collaborating on this. And we're going to feed children breakfast and lunch because hunger doesn't take a summer vacation at all.
Not at all.
And it's nothing to just lend your time to someone. Lend your hand. Like, I got two of them. I'm like, I lend a hand, I got two, I can lend one. To make sure babies this summer, because some kids don't get food until they go to school and get breakfast and lunch. And in this state that I live in, doesn't do enough for families in need. So whatever I can do. But so that's just one, you know what I'm saying? So saying all that to say, whatever comes to me, if I can put it out there to others, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to limit myself. It's comical when you look at the people and I'm like, what you doing now? What you And I'm like, whatever I want to.
But what are you doing? Are you using any of those gifts?
Yeah. Are you happy?
And that was said to me the other day. Use all of your gifts. Use all of them. You didn't just get one. So use them all.
Exactly.
Why not use them all?
Treasure is abundant. Talk about hiding your treasure or burying it. Like, treasure is not skimpy. When you say treasure, it's abundant. And so we're full of goodness, full of good things that God planted in us. Someone asked me, how do you decide what businesses to go into? I'm like, there are things that I need. And so I figure if I need it, somebody else must. And so let me present it to the people and let them have the last word. Well, thankfully, that's worked for me over all these years. So.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that for you. And so that's your next project coming up with Feeding the Children. I love that. Any other ones coming up after that?
Cool. So this is Happy Helpings, and it'll be at Her Vision Art is the location. That program will run from June 6th to July 19th, to the summer. Another program that I started right before pandemic shutdown is called Having a Senior Moment. And Having a Senior Moment is a program to assist seniors with doing things that are lively and fun. So my father lives here in Atlanta. He was raised here, but I was born in Buffalo, so he was in Buffalo. He had gotten ill, and I moved him here to take care of him. And going to adult daycares while I was working and doing things, they would just sit them in front of the TV, and that would be their day. And I'm like, I cannot understand how these agencies think this is what these people look forward to.
Right.
They're still alive. And so developing a program that would get seniors in different areas around the city engaged, introduce them to each other, and do things that are fun. Now, then the shutdown happened, and then life happened.
Yeah.
So that is still something that I'm working on, engaging different agencies and senior centers throughout the metropolitan Atlanta area and surrounding areas. The struggle has been to do it in a way that's affordable for the seniors, because the program is easy. I do sightseeing tours all day, every day, and produce events. So it's not a hard thing. It's the finance and the budget of it to make sure I can present it to seniors. So hopefully I can get some sponsors that want to contribute transportation and resources so we can make these programs super affordable to the seniors.
Absolutely. So if anyone who is interested in becoming a sponsor for, what is the name of the program?
Having a Senior Moment, which is under the Rue La La Day Tours and Excursions umbrella as well.
Having a Senior Moment. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor, donating your time, your money, Having a Senior Moment needs
your
it.
Locations, your food. Like I envision having socials, dances, going on fishing trips where we can do fish fries out by the lake, or barbecues where all the centers can come together. To me, it's to continue to live an abundant life. Everything ultimately leads to having the opportunity to live an abundant life.
Absolutely.
No scarcity.
As we should. Just like you said, they're still living, so why stop?
Yeah.
Yes. Is there any last words that you would like to leave with your audience?
Last words. I would say just go with your heart. Don't be afraid. Go with your heart. Do what makes you happy. Do what's good for you. Let God lead you, and just trust that whatever it is he gives you to do, he's going to give you the wisdom to see it through. He's going to give you the plan. He may not lay it all out for you in the beginning, but as you begin taking steps, it'll be revealed to you. In some instances, he may. There have been times when I've gotten ideas and I'm like, oh, that sounds great, but I can't see my way through from the beginning to the end to implement it or make it happen. And I might go to sleep and wake up with the full outline that is given to me. So I would say just don't be afraid. Just really stepping out on faith. It's just not talk. It's actionable, and you have to.
Faith without works is dead, right?
That part.
Yeah. Rue, oh my gosh. This has been a pleasure. I need to have you back. I feel like we didn't have enough time, but I would love to talk to you again. Thank you so much.
I like that as well.